What is up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and we back with everything hypocritical, back in studio again. Solo episode one, and I haven't done a solo episode one in a minute. And for good reasons, obviously, it's because I had a bunch of good guests that were scheduled for the month of June. So there's an annoying ass fly that I can't seem to get out of the camera. But anyway, so yeah, so there was the month of June. I had a bunch of good guests on. We started off. I think I did the entire month full of guests, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we did the J. Crew episode. We did Ulysses episode. We did the Barbers episode, and then we did Ellie's episode. So that's 4 weeks of just amazing guests, and I highly recommend you guys to go back and listen to it and or watch it if you haven't done so already. Both of them, I mean, on both of them, sorry, all four of them. Amazing episodes in their own reasons. J. Crew, independent artists out in Los Angeles, doing the damn thing. I mean, they're just comedic type, eccentric type, high energy, fast pace, but also, straight up bars, straight up bars. So we have that episode that they're doing, and I love the video content that they're putting out between the skits, the music videos, and the behind the scenes stuff, and they're putting all of that together. So shouts out to J. Crew, y'all doing the thing. And then after that, we had my homie Uli, Ulysses Media. He's a young one, man, young one on the rise, young one on the rise with all this. Like he has his, his media company that media production company that he's running himself. He has his marketing stuff that he runs himself. He has his videography work that he does himself, and he also has his podcast that he does himself too. So just a straight up go getter, straight up creator that's doing everything that he has to do in this crazy world. And fortunately, I was fortunate enough to be featured as a guest on his episode. I mean, his podcast. So be on the lookout for that episode when it comes out. Shouts out to Uli for that one. And then with the Barbers episode, it was Jeffrey and Anthony, and that one has been, that one has just been brewing up for a minute. I keep wiping my fucking forehead like this because of like it's hot, yo, and I keep sweating. But and again, I always sweat on these. But yeah, so the Anthony and Jeffrey one, the four barbers by barbers. That's the one that we've been like planning up and scheduling, well, trying to schedule up for a minute, and I feel like it was a good opportunity. You know what I mean, to talk about the barbers because in 2020, just like everybody else that was struggling, we got to get a good perspective on the insides and outs of all the stuff that was going on. And we got to kind of see more or less how not even creators, I should say, but um, independent contractors, I guess you would say. Is that fair to say? But we got to see like how they got to adjust and what they had to do and how it affected their pockets differently. You know what I mean? And I don't want to obviously dive too much into the episode because we covered all that in that episode. So go back and watch it if you haven't. And then lastly, we finished up with the month of June with Ellie. And I mean, wow, just another episode and some behind the scenes stuff that we talked about between us. But to give you guys a little background on that one too, when we were setting it up and trying to schedule a date, we had like two different other dates. We had a date in mind, but we had also two different locations. I was either gonna go find a spot in King City. Here comes that damn fly. Find the spot in King City, or I was going to be finding a spot in Fresno, and we were like trying to figure out which spot is gonna go do would suit better to each other's schedule, and then I was trying to make it to where she can obviously we can go to her, you know what I mean, because it's more difficult, you know what I mean, and I can go wherever, I've done mobiles in the past. So luckily, she wanted to come on here, and she wanted to be in person. Which, like I said, like I've said in hella other episodes prior, I always prefer a chance to be in studio and talk to a person like real time. You know what I mean? Because it's just better. So we set all that up, and again, if I don't want to go on into it too much, another great episode, one that I personally enjoyed the concept behind, and then one that I personally am grateful to be a part of, and just grateful that I was able to have a communication with her. You know what I mean? And to even feel comfortable enough to even open up like that, So if you haven't already done it, just like all of those, go check out each and every one of them, listen to them. or watch them whenever you can. And now that we're in the month of July, which is even crazy to say, July is just starting off. First week, first week of July is always like it's always like quick and fast paced, and it's always something with me and my family. So my grandma's birthday is my grandma's birthday is July 2nd. My grandpa's birthday is July 4th. They're 2 days apart, 2 years apart. And so, you know what I mean? Naturally, they kind of put the birthdays together. So, and on top of that, it's 4th of July. And then on top of that, you get, you know, when you have kids, there's two sides of families that want to, you know what I mean? So want to be there and they want to like take photos, and two sides of the family that want to have like their time with the baby and their time with the baby. So between birthdays, 4th of July's, and budgeting and managing time with, with kids, it's like, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot, but I think this is one of the first years work wise that I had like that Monday off, because I guess they observed the next day, like because it landed on a Sunday, so the work gave you like that Monday off, which is cool, you know what I mean? Because of that, fortunately, we had hella time to like go back and forth with a few things and the budget everything, and have this kid over here and this kid over here and family time here, you know what I mean? So I got to see my cousins, I got to see my sister, I got to see my mom, my grandparents, everybody. So I'm definitely thankful for that. And it was just a lot, you know what I mean? I was like going back and forth, like, damn, up and down the Central Coast. I had like a few of my homies and shit too that's try to link up, and I was just like, bro, if I had the time, I'm definitely down. But it's like, from the time you wake up, from the time you go to sleep, it's like, bro, you're so booked, you know what I'm saying? And like, there's always something going on somewhere. There's always something going on somewhere, and my fucking my energy levels like fluctuate, you know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, it's like you want to wake up with your kid and shit, if you could, you know what I mean, if you can. But so that was like pretty much the weekend that I had. Cool shit to be every single time when I could be around my grandpa. It's like, let's go, you know what I'm saying? And then we always never fails. We always Sunday. We always get like some type of coffee. I was a little bit late this time, but that's only because they had hooked him up with some menudo already, and they had breakfast up with him and everything. But a little bit behind, but at least we was actually able to be there together. So like I said, that's always a plus. 4th of July, 4th of July is always like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's like it's not even getting that big anymore. Does that make sense? It's not like, I didn't really see a bunch of fireworks. I didn't see a bunch of firecrackers or really any, now that I think about it. Now, granted, we're in California, so like half the rules and half the laws are just like, no fireworks and fire hazards or fire warnings, and then they eventually make them to a point where it's just like only, you can only get them at not even get them. It's like they're only the state is allowed to, or the county is allowed to do like the fireworks shows. But even then, some of them weren't even doing it because it was like warnings here, warnings here. Now, I'm not a fire marshal. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a first responder for anything. So maybe this for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're just like, yo, there's a reason why we don't do this anymore, because motherfuckers take advantage of hella shit and cause a bunch of fires. Like I remember like the Monday morning, you saw like on the news that there was a bunch of like, like 50, I want to say like 50 over, no, sorry, it was like over 500 fires just in the weekend alone because of 4th of July. Because, you know, people being reckless with it, people not knowing what to do, people fucking around, you know what I mean? Kids being kids, or teenagers being teenagers, you know what I'm saying? So I guess there was like hella fires all over the place, and yeah, it just kind of like set things off. So if you are a first responder, if you are a firefighter, and if you are anywhere in that field, do you prefer it? How do you guys how do you guys feel about 4th of July? Or how do y'all, I should say, how do y'all feel about 4th of July? And do you think it's like a protective measure why we don't do anything? You think it's better? If you are a first responder or of any sort, reach out to me, let me know, because I am curious in that. But yeah, so I didn't see a bunch of fireworks. I don't think where I was at, I don't think they did a fireworks show. And then I wasn't here local. I wasn't in Sacramento, so I didn't see any fireworks show. Also, I didn't see a bunch of people post about it, so it's like, I don't know. Do they? Is it? You know what I mean? Like, is there a fucking fireworks show? So, and then again, oh, and then on top of that too, like, yo, I don't even really do good with fireworks too. Like when them big ass fucking ones, like when the big ass ones go up and like blow up and shit and do like the 10 different explosions, like ta 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 ta. Like I'm like kind of tripping, and so I'm like every time I'm like flinching, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I always like, you know what I mean? Brings it back. I'm like, yo, we getting shot at again? Again? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's PTSD. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of all that crazy ass fireworks show. But I know that like we should like the kid. It's good for the kids, right? It's good for the kids to see. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not, and I'm not really looking forward to it. But I do got a, okay. I do have a funny ass story. One time, it was Mommy Juno, the one that was on the episode with Will before. He had just got this house. They had just it was like the first year at the house. Yeah, yeah. It was like the first year at their house, and I had never really been a part of like crazy fireworks shows like where you light them and shit like that. Like I'm used to the firecrackers. You know what I'm saying? Like the one you put right there, or the one that like sparkle up and do a quick flares, or you kind of like you know what I'm saying? You'll kind of just like light them right there. Nothing crazy. Or the sparklers. The sparklers were the shit. You were one of the coolest ones that like would write your name in cursive and spell some shit out. You know what I'm saying? And just fucking shit right there like that, and spell your name out before it went out. If you could do that, badass. I could never do it. Anyway, so and that's what I'm accustomed to, right? So anyway, so Juno's, so we're at Juno's house. It's like his first year at his crib. Nice house, 2 story, big ass backyard. Dry, you know, we in Sac, you know, so it's like, you know, the summer season, so it's like, you know, a lot of dead grass and not exactly grasses that are green and shit. So I remember he had some fireworks, and he had told me, he goes, hey, you want to light one of these? I'm like, for sure. Like, what do I got to do? He's like, uh, just hold it in your hand like this and hold it in the air. I'm like, the fucking Statue of Liberty and shit. He's like, yeah. So he said, I'm gonna light it and it's just gonna go off. Now, before I tell you what it is, let me explain. I've never done these type of things. So he goes, hold it up. I'm gonna light it and it's gonna shoot in the air. And I'm like, dope. It's gonna explode and shit. He's like, yeah. I'm like, bet I got this. Okay. So I hold it up for and it just shoots off. Boom. Goes up in the air. And I'm like, wow. And I lower it like that. And fucking just starts shooting out more. Yo, it shot out like 3 more. And he was like, no, no, no. And it fucking went boom, 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 and it lit up his backyard. It just went into flames. It was like it lit up, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And his fence was getting like it was like, and I just think I was like, I this was me. It's my fault. But actually, it's not my fault. It's Juno's fault because he didn't tell me it was a Roman candle, and he didn't tell me more than one comes out. So that's why when I shot it, and it went, and I instantly put my hand down because I thought it was just that one. So I put my hand down in the shot, doo doo doo. And he was like, "Oh shit!" And we were like scrambling. Luckily, he had a water hose. Luckily, it was like a water supply line, and there was like buckets. You know what I'm saying? We were like, "Oh shit!" You know. So we started wetting everything. We're throwing shit. I'm grabbing dirt, jumping in on top of it. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I guess my logic behind it is like it'll trap it and keep it underneath the dirt, and there's no oxygen, so it can't really grow. So we're throwing everything up on there. The fence is catching on fire, and I'm like, oh my god, all this for a fucking Roman candle. Thank you, Roman candles. And what made it worse, what made the icing, we put the icing on the top that kind of like when why we both knew we're like we fucked up, is that he was on Facebook Live. So he so he was on Facebook Live, and he kind of like put the shit, you know what I'm saying, put the little joint right there, and he was like recording me, and I was just like all proud and shit, like and then I fucking put it down, and then flames. So needless to say, don't give me nothing fireworks related, and not tell me what it does, and not tell me what it's capable of doing. Matter of fact, just keep me away from that shit. I'd rather just be a bystander in the back. I'll be the viewer. I'm here for the spectacle. The shit that goes up, explodes. Oh, my bad. Explodes, hella colors, looks nice. That's what I'm there for. I'm not a pyrotactic. I'm not good with it. I can't even freaking, I don't even know how to light the damn, what's that ones where like you throw it and it spins, like, those things. I would fuck that up too because I've thrown them and like caught my cousin's legs and shit. Just keep me away and we'll be good. But that's the quick little the story with the 4th of July things that I can remember. Actually, I'll tell you one more. We was in Georgia. This is when I was living in Georgia, and it was 4th of July, and I was with someone. We were like, I think we maybe might have pulled up to like Alabama area. I don't know. It was something like around like borderish, Alabama Georgia border. You know what I'm saying? And it was 4th of July. Nothing scheduled. Nothing planned. Didn't have any fireworks. So I pulled up to one of those fireworks stands. That you see that says like TNT, and you start to see like pop up like a month in advance, like all in a bunch of random places, high schools, post offices, parking lots, the fucking potranks, like they're always posted up somewhere. And I remember I got one of those the $50 box that come with a bunch of bullshit, right? And I remember we were trying to figure out a place to go. We were driving like in random neighborhoods. I don't know why we were doing that because the logic behind it, which now that I think about it, doesn't really make much sense. But the logic behind that was that these neighborhoods have like open areas and like park areas and like weird ass random parking lots. So we was like, we'll just light these here. You know what I'm saying? So we pulled up, random spot. We started lighting fireworks. We sat on the hood of my car and we were just watching them go. And I remember thinking like, oh wow, like this is hella cool. Like this isn't a fireworks show necessarily, but like this is our fireworks show. And I look back at that and I'm like, we at that moment it was like, yo, this is the shit. That was probably the dumbest thing. We fucking we went to like little, the damn sparkler things going up. That was probably the dumbest shit we could do, but in that moment it was cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's hindsight for you. That's looking back and being like, not gonna do that again. But yeah, so 4th of July is always hit or miss for a lot of things, but that was my weekend and my story with that, and I'm sticking with it. But my family has a bunch of birthdays in July. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like back to back to back, and then which means that there's gonna be a lot of get-togethers, which means that there's gonna be a lot of parties, and as if we didn't already need a bunch. You know what I'm saying? So um, yeah, looking forward to all those. I can't make all of them too, and my fam knows this too. It's like, yo, I'm just too far. I can't go like every single weekend to every little thing. Plus, there's like, there's shit I gotta do with this, and there's work, and there's always something that needs to be done around the house. And two, I can't take my son around driving all every single weekend back home because yo, he doesn't do good with car seats. Parents, can you relate? He's like, it's like we have to like schedule it around his nap time, or schedule it around the time where he's getting ready for bed. So it's either you have afternoon or late at night. Which one do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of like the shit that we have like to maneuver and be around and do everything like that. So that's another whole conversation too. But yeah, so I don't feel like going anywhere. I say all that to say I say all that to say that, if that makes sense. Probably not. Um, so upcoming plans with um the podcast. So good news. A bunch of more guests coming up. I've said it to my close circle and everything. The month of June to date has been my most productive by far, for sure. As far as um, episodes, advancement, content, and booking, scheduling, the month of June. Not only is it significant because it's like the official 6 months are done, officially 6 months complete. of being with this and knocking them out every single week with, with bonus episodes and everything, but staying consistent in that 6 months, yo, that time flew for sure. And it, puts things into perspective for like anything really. It could be like, yo, as long as you stay consistent, which I preach all the time, but as long as you continue something, have the motivation to actually do it for fucking one, but doing it, and the time's gonna fly. Like I said, 6 months is 6 months. And so now that we're moving on to like I would call the first 6 months like the first chapter. Now we're kind of moving on to the second chapter of everything. And like I said, the most productive month so far has been June. And I like the flow of everything. I like the fact that I had the month, like guests wise, the whole month of June I already had booked out, planned. And so I already know what to expect for what, how to prep for this, scheduling as far as when I'm going to record and when I have downtime, when I have time to edit, when I have time to go over show notes, and when I have time to like, do all the little logistics stuff that's behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about, and all that stuff. So I had the time that month to like clear all that stuff out. And like I said, the most productive month for sure by far compared to all the rest of them. And I would like to keep that same flow, I would say, going in this second chapter. So July, more guests coming on. I'm reaching out to a few more people that I think will come on, and I know we're still working on a few other ones, but I think we could get some on. And I know that I'm gonna be doing. I know for a fact at least two more mobiles, meaning like I'm gonna pack up all this shit, you know what I mean, and I'm gonna go to the locations that they are at. Well, I shouldn't say for sure because nothing is for sure, and we don't know what's gonna happen with what. But I'm planning on doing two more mobiles. What else? What else? What else? I can't give too much info. This is not necessarily like podcast related, but I'm currently, I guess you would say like brainstorming, plotting, coming up with this concept for this other project that I'm going to be fixing up, and I want it to be. Oh, how soon do I want it to be? Maybe later this year, or maybe early next year. But I'm working on another project, and I might make it like a collaborative effort. I might bring in some other people. I don't know. I gotta see how all this is gonna play out, and so I'm like, looking forward to that one. But what else, podcast wise? I want to work on getting merch, and nothing crazy too. I'm not saying I'm gonna have a whole fucking line, and I'm gonna have like crazy different accessories and everything, because I know that's just not realistic. So I want to be working with a merch, with getting some merch and like some accessory merch, like like the stickers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm doing that with my hands, but the stickers you could like place everywhere for like marketing and stuff like that and promotional stuff. So I'm gonna get some stuff like that, some merch stuff. I just gotta figure out exactly how I'm gonna outsource for it, that or figure out a way to outsource that makes sense. And I know I'm looking at a bunch of different options, and that should be coming soon. And I know it's probably like a thing where it's just like, yo, why would you? Not why would you, but some people might be like, waited this long, for something like that. Should have started from the beginning, and blah, 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 blah. I get it. But it's also a thing where I wanted to see if this was even going to be, gaining some traction. You know what I mean? So it's like you can have a zero uh, people that are interested. You could have zero people that like not follow you like that and everything, and have all this damn merch and can't do anything with it, as opposed to have like building up some type of base and building up I don't even know you. I'm not gonna say fans, but like loyal listeners. Yeah, like loyal listeners. Once you build up something like that, then you can like get some merch and you can get some support from that too. So now I feel like it's the right time to do all that. And once I do that too, like I'll be able to drop some fucking some like links for some stuff, some preview stuff, some drop dates, and some like real tangible evidence that I can put with that. And another thing I want to start, and I know I keep saying it too, but it's hard to do it myself. But I'm gonna be like kind of documenting a lot of behind the scenes type stuff and uploading that and putting that up on YouTube, of course. And I will. It's tough. Oh, the reason why I say it's tough to remember to do all that too is because while I'm setting everything up and while I'm doing everything, it's tough to shoot behind the scenes stuff when I'm like right here. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to do it like right now than it's a solo one, but I do plan on doing all that going forward. So yeah, merch, behind the scenes, outsourcing, and guests. Those are like pretty much like the gist of all the stuff that's I'm planning to go forward and look up with and everything. So I'm definitely excited for that for sure. And yeah, this heat. Oh, that's what I was gonna talk about too. This heat, yo, this heat got me all fucked up. I don't know. It's making. It does affect like scheduling too, because I don't exactly have an AC system here that's been working properly. Working on that, and I've substituted with like using this stupid AC tower, like this cooling fan and everything, and you can get away with some I guess, maneuver around that and everything. But it's nothing that's sustainable. Which, like I said, this AC problem may or may not get fixed, but that's kind of all me to do. But it's the heat's getting everything messed up because of that. Because it might affect scheduling, and then it's like you have to do mornings, you have to do nights. It's a whole different thing. Working through that currently. Um, but the reason why I bring up the heat type of stuff is because, if you're locally here in Sac, the heat is fucking up like routes, traffic wise. There's like so much different, like, I didn't see so much damn fire department, EMTs type of thing on the road. It's because of people like passing out or like heat exhaustion or getting heat cramps, and then a lot of more fires and random fires or brush fires or controlled fires. So now it's like affecting the goddamn traffic for lanes and lane shutdowns and all the stuff that comes with that. I have it's crazy because I have a few things that I wanted to bring up too, and it kind of get like, I guess, my perspective on it. Not that anybody's asking for it, but like some stuff like that. There's been there was these verses are popping right now. Okay, these verses are going like back to back to back. I gotta be honest with you. I haven't been excited for a verses since the E42 short one. When I watched the E42 short verses, it was like a thing, yo. It was like we was hyped for, and we made like a whole event right here at the crib. When I pulled up to the when well, I so we had over. Oh, so okay. We were doing a viewing party at my house, and invited a few people over. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we had to get a bottle of the Earl Stevens selections, the wine, and then just a little quick bottle of Douce. And we was hyped for it because it's Bay Area type shit. So that was the last time that I can remember that I was hyped for like a versus. But then you had other ones like in between, and I don't want to go through every single one of them, but they had the that Soldier Boy Bow Wow one. I did not catch it. I didn't watch it, but I went back. Then I saw a few things, and yeah, I know they had like little Romeo pop out and shit like that. And yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't. It hit different, I guess. It just wasn't that exciting. Obviously, all of them are older, and it didn't seem too crazy exciting. You know what I mean? To me, at least, I feel like I didn't miss out on much. You guys get the same thing? Like every time something like that passes, I feel like I just didn't miss out on much. And then they had like the surprise one with Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown. Again, this was last week, so this is older type of news, but I don't see the excitementness for it anymore. You know, I don't know. So the one versus that I feel like we need and the world needs is we need a versus between Chris Brown and Usher. Like, we've talked about this within like my close friends and everything. We've talked about this like hella times. Chris Brown, Usher versus Make It Happen. Now, let me tell you who I would go with. Me personally, I'm rolling with Usher Raymond. Come on now. Come on now, bro. I'm rolling with Usher Raymond. Now, this is not a knock against Chris. I fuck with Chris. I fuck with Chris Brown, bro. That's my homie. We was kicking in high school. You know what I'm saying? I'll text him right now. But um, yeah, I just feel like if they're going 20 for 20, I'm gonna go with Usher. You know what I'm saying? Like classics. Like if we bring up like we was doing like during quarantine specifically too, we was doing like little mini verses between us. We would get together at someone's crib and then we're like, all right, let's make a little mini verses between us. And we was doing like their top five versus this person's top five. Like I remember we were doing like Michael Jackson versus The Weeknd, and then it was like Too Short, Andre Nicotina, and then it was like Nicki Minaj versus fucking fuck, who was it? Nicki Minaj, someone. We were doing like little mini verses, like us just trying to, kill time with the whole fucking quarantine thing. But we need that the Usher Chris Brown. I feel like Usher's gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and another one we were trying to figure out was like who exactly can go up against Drake. That's so we were shouting out names like Lil Wayne. We were shouting out names like some of the older heads were saying Jay-Z. And some of the older head, I mean, I was even thinking a Chris Brown Drake one that would have been a cool one too. But like R&B, Chris Brown, Usher, and again, what's the criteria for verses? It's hits. They're top 20, and you gotta have that catalog. You gotta have that catalog for the 2020. We're not talking about 10. I get it. Chris for surely got 20. But Usher guaranteed 20, yo. So that's my opinion with the verses. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So y'all let me know who you got. If you had it in the verses, who'd you get? Chris Brown, Usher. Or Chris Brown, Usher. Let me know. But anyway, I wanted to wrap up with something that I haven't been able to get to do for the last couple of weeks because of all the guests and everything. And that is the quote of the week. I love doing these, and I know y'all do too. Psych. But this week's quote of the week comes from someone who holds dearly to me and someone who's like an idol, like I idolize, and just a straight up fave and just a straight up goat. But this week's quote of the week is coming from the late Honorable Kobe Bryant, RIP. And this is a quote, one of his quotes, which is, I can't relate to lazy people. We don't speak the same language. I don't understand you, and I don't want to understand you. Of course, the fucking GOAT, my bad for that. Of course, he would come out with a fire fucking quote like that. And I resonate. That one resonates with me so much, and I can relate so fucking much because I feel the same exact way. I can't relate to you if you're lazy. I don't know, we might be built different. We just chemically something is different, or there's a gene that I have that you'd have that you don't have. I don't know what it is. I'm not shitting on you either. I'm not straight up dissing you. I'm just saying I have something that you don't got, and I'm gonna keep it that way. I can't relate. Lazy people, what? Lazy me, what? That they don't even like. No, love that quote. So R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant, and shouts out to you. Okay, I'm ready to get up out of here because it's hot as shit. But anyway, this has been another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig. Thank you for tuning in for another week. We got much more stuff much more stuff coming on in these next few weeks, and everything seemed like it's going up. So I'm going to keep the momentum just like that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Go back and listen to the last 4 episodes. If you haven't listened to them or watched them, do yourselves a favor. Go back and check them out. Great episodes right there. But anyway, y'all stay safe. Oh, wait. You see the happy hour shirt? You see it? Shout out to the baby moms. It's always happy hour at Casa de Fig. Peace.